According to the Tech Republic, there are 10 companies that are spearheading digital transformation in their industry. One of these companies is the largest managed care organization in the US, Kaiser Permanente. I had the pleasure of working on some of the early steps Kaiser Permanente was taking to transform its business by integrating its Southern California and Northern California IT systems. So, they start having one common record of their healthcare members, people like you and me. 15, 20 years later, Kaiser is spearheading a lot of the digital transformations in healthcare. And according to the article today, 52% of the more than 100 million Kaiser Permanente patient encounters each year are virtual visits. Can you imagine that? This means 100 million patient cases get taken care of by a virtual audio or video or email interaction with physicians and other healthcare professionals at Kaiser. Imagine the moms who didn't have to put their kids in a car and rush to the hospital or wait in urgent care rooms. You've done that, I've done that, for hours before being seen by a doctor. We don't need to imagine anymore. Kaiser Permanente is able to do it. They are doing it now. Now, that's amazing. When people hear me talk about the joy of change, they say, Ash, you must be smoking something. But here's what I found. Over my years of business experience as an entrepreneur and a corporate executive, I found out that nothing creates more joy than working on an exciting project or starting a new business or being part of an initiative designed to create an exhilarating future vision of how life could be for customers, employees, or partners. When I speak with many of today's leaders, they are overwhelmed with work. I ask them to list all the activities they do daily, and their answers range from putting out fires at work to attending ad hoc meetings and more meetings and more meetings. When I coach them one-on-one or in groups, I find out that the problem is usually a misunderstanding of what the role is versus what it should be and what level of impact they could create if they saw their role as that of a leader with a strategic view. Strategic leaders thrive on the joy of change. That's what I believe. They should always actually be change leaders who enjoy what I call the tension between a not so ideal present time, present situation, and what they and their teams could create for the future. This means on a regular basis, they must envision where the business needs to go and work with others around them to create a unified vision, a common destiny. The vision of a better future helps turn the tension into excitement. And that's where this delta that we usually use to describe change, this is where that tension is. I actually see it as the heart of the issue we're looking at. And you want to turn that tension into excitement. So as a leader, you're creating an opportunity for yourself and your organization. And your role is to sell that vision of the future with a story. The story of one of those Kaiser Permanente patients who didn't have to leave home or get to the medical center and get advice that they need. The story of the happy customer who will go home and tell his kids how amazing the banking experience was at Chase Bank. Or the story of a mom who will say how incredibly comfortable and satisfied she was with the hospital team that was taking care of her baby. Between face-to-face, phone, text, email, and web conversations and interactions, she was so well informed throughout the whole process, the whole time her baby was at the hospital. Now, she just likes to go visit the hospital team and thank them. She makes sure she takes with her her best and most delicious chocolate. To her, this team is family, and they will always will be. It's stories like this of actual people who will benefit from the change that leaders create that will fire you and those around you up, and it will create the joy of change. I believe we all have a lot more achievement potential, and the secret sauce is to look for the joy of change. Create an inspiring vision and turn that tension that is inside us into excitement. All businesses know the imperative of innovate or die, and the best thing you can do for your organization is to have that antenna up all the time. Look for new opportunities to innovate and create delightful experiences. Jack Welch says, good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. That's why our next step after envisioning that better future is to rally the forces, to rally the organization around it by sharing with them how it is going to look, feel, and sound when we achieve that vision, when we achieve our goals, and what it means to everyone involved and affected by it. As Linda Buff, Chief Marketing Officer at GE, says one time, we want people who can go to the future and come back and tell us about it. They need to share that vision with others, make it inspiring, and enjoy the rewards of the transformation and the larger impact you can accomplish. When I interviewed leaders for my best-selling book, Meaning, we found out that the three most important questions leaders need to ask are where we've been, where are we now, and where are we going as a company? The Joy of Change provides the right backdrop to share the meaning of what's happening now, why it's happening, and how it will help us create a better future for everybody. All those around you are literally asking you to lead change, make it enjoyable, and create memorable experiences, profitable innovations, and help everybody stay ahead of the competition. They are right there at the door. If you don't take action, they will eat you alive. Now, here's where you come in. Your first action step is to interview people around you. Find out from them how this organization needs to be. How are things going on today? How could they be? And then write down your own version of that vision of the future and come back and share it with them. Get some feedback. As Mother Teresa says, I alone cannot change the world, but I cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. I want you to cast your stone. Let there be change, not any kind of change, joyful change. Create something amazing. Thank you very much.